Well, hello, y'all. It is time to breathe again on the latest BOFA Sports webcast, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. I got Patrick Brackett back with me after his day off. Well, not a day off last week, but he was celebrating his son's birthday. So it's good to have you back. And we don't have too much to talk about today because it's pretty much an open show. We've got a couple of topics here. So we'll just dive right into, with this being March, it's March Madness time. Time for college basketballs to shine. And this is the month to do it. So this week we have conference tournaments that are going to be happening. The SECs will start tomorrow. I think the Big 12 started today. I have to see. I don't know if they started today.
I think they start today, and because I think there was and I think the ACC started today.
Yeah. So yep. So all the power conferences are getting going here in the next day or two. You have some of your mid-major conferences. They're having their conference championships tonight, maybe tomorrow as well. And then next week, when we come to you next week, we'll be getting ready for bracket time, Patrick, because it'll be the main tournament.
So the main tournament starts tomorrow.
I know, yeah.
I mean, 12 of the 12 teams out of the SEC is going to be the main tournament, so you might as well just say this one's the main tournament.
This has been a historic year for the SEC, and maybe it's because we came over from the Big 12, us in Oklahoma coming over
Texas
there.
North.
Yeah, Texas North. There we go. And so I've been watching more of the SEC this year. And yeah, that conference is loaded. It does look like they will have a solid 12 teams in. And I guess depending on how a couple others, well, us really, depending on how we do in the SEC tournament, maybe we can sneak in there. But we're going to need at least a run to the quarterfinals if we're going to get in there with not much discussion about it. I mean,
my dogs are in.
Yeah,
10 years.
Yeah, Georgia looks like they're gonna get in. Nice run to finish the season, including a win over Florida to get that started.
Yeah, dude. Man, let me tell you, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Man, I was sweating on the show.
Yeah,
I knew we needed that win.
Yes.
Just even having like, okay, you got your big win, okay. We'll give you something.
I mean, look, with it being the number 3 team in the country at the time, huge.
Yeah, you gotta give us some. You know what I mean?
And this tournament, I mean, these conference tournaments, particularly in the SEC, it's going to be fun. You talk about the true one and done. Every day you're out there playing, so you have your favorites. Obviously, Auburn won the regular season this year. But Florida's good, Bama's good, Tennessee is good, the Mississippi schools are good. I mean, it is Texas A&M is good. Kentucky can get hot. It's up and down this conference, so it's gonna be fun to see.
And just so you can hear that from like a different perspective, the worst team in the SEC in non-conference game was South Carolina, and they went 10-3. Just so you know, that's the worst in the conference. They went 10-3 outside of conference. Georgia went 12-1. Tennessee swept. I think Ole Miss swept. I mean, they went 13-0 outside of conference. Those two teams, so just to put that out there, just to let everybody know, like, look, the SEC, South Carolina looks bad. They went 10-3 and outside of conference, dude, with a big win over Clemson.
Yes, and Clemson's second or third in the ACC behind Duke. And y'all in Georgia, y'all beat St. John's this year.
Yeah.
And
St. John's loss was to Marquette.
Yeah, and
Out of conference.
And St. John's is the best in the Big East right now, well, regular season wise.
Mm-hmm. They're
So
ranked 6th right now.
yeah, so it just tells you about the depth of the conference. And I mean, for me being a first time member of this conference, you know me, like we taking our lumps, but I love it. I love being in the conference. I love being in the SEC every day. It is it's a
fight.
battle. Yeah, and I
fight every single day. And and this is no disrespect to the other conferences, because I mean, look, there's a lot of other conferences, especially in basketball. There's a lot of other conferences that are really good. There's in a bracket of 64 teams. There's probably going to be a lot more upsets this year than there has been in years, because even these teams that are not good, are supposedly good, they're not bad. They're really not that bad. They play basketball very well, and and these teams are getting to the point where they can hire coaches. There, with all this NIL money, they're able to hire coaches that put them to that next level. So
it's definitely an equalizer with NIL and the transfer portal, for sure.
Yeah, and you can bring people in that wouldn't typically come to play for your school. I mean, like, look at the NIL that Georgia's getting with all their baseball. I don't know if you've looked into baseball yet, but I mean, dude, Georgia's 18-1 right now, and they got like a freaking stacked lineup in batting. Look at Tennessee's pitching. I mean, Tennessee, I think, is undefeated. No, they lost one. I think they lost one game. But dude, they got 3 pitchers that are probably going in the first round. I mean,
I've got a few scores, and I'll definitely start catching up to more of the baseball. I've been able to catch some of the scores and see what they're doing, I guess, standings wise. I hadn't really seen too many highlights, not outside of the one that we were talking about with Auburn a few weeks ago, with the player who he had lost his mom, but then hit a homer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I love being in the SEC, and like you said, with basketball, the SEC traditionally, with the exception of Kentucky, not known as, I mean, of course, power conference, yes, but not known for the depth in basketball like they are in football. Normally, that would go to maybe the ACC. I cannot talk this.
Yeah, or maybe even the Big Ten. The way the Big Ten has been playing in the past couple of years, but to have this much depth,
yeah,
holy cow! And when I tell you, like, South Carolina, man, I cannot talk about this team enough, dude. Like, they fight every single game. I mean, there's games where I watch South Carolina, and I think, and they're 16th in the SEC. But man, let me tell you, there ain't one team that takes their starters off of the court before they feel they got that game against South Carolina, man. Like, that was a game that Kentucky was playing them. And Kentucky was up by 10 with they were up by they were up by 6 or 10, something like that. And it wasn't until 30 seconds left in the game before the starters came off. Yeah, so I mean, even with South Carolina, I mean, yes, they went 0-13 in conference, but man, if Kentucky is not taking their starters off until 30 seconds and they feel they can wrap it up, that's saying something. That's saying something about the way South Carolina and in general, I guess, the SEC is coming out, and they're just playing ball, and it's good ball. I mean, and then you look at the ACC. Look at this game that happened earlier today with Cal and Virginia Tech. I don't know how many more overtimes Cal can go. I can tell you that right now.
Still crazy that Cal is in the ACC, but yeah. I mean, because these are, like you said, these other conferences, they got some good playing too. The ACC, it looks like Duke might be the class of it, but Clemson beat them earlier. Louisville has been very good this year, so wouldn't be surprised to see one of them take down Duke. In the Big Ten, Michigan State. I mean, it seems like every year, Michigan State seems to just have a team that's always there.
They find a way, man. They
Yeah.
find a way. You look at that team, and this is a huge testament to Michigan State's coaching right here.
Yeah,
You
Tom
look up
Izzo.
and go ahead.
Tom Izzo's just
Yeah.
coach.
So this is a huge testament to what I'm fixing to say. Huge testament to their coaching. And let me tell you, man, I look at that team and I'm like, Tom looks at that team and goes, I got something here. 7. I'm like, I don't know how. Okay, how did you do that? Because there's not really many star athletes on that team, and yet he gets the most out of them. I mean, to be honest with you, there was a couple games where I was like, Michigan might be playing over their head. It was early in the season, early in the season, and I think they were like undefeated 6-0 or something like that. And I was like, I think they're playing a little over their head. Middle of the season, I was like, the team ain't playing over their head. He just knows how to coach. You got to give that man credit. He knows how to coach. And like you said, Michigan State finds a way, finds a team, and they are always just there. I don't know how, they are always just there.
So there's not too many teams. I mean, if I was to give you an answer on why Michigan State is always around, there's not too many teams that are tougher than Michigan State. They are going to fight you and compete every step of the way. Mm-hmm. And even if you do come out of that game with a win, you're gonna know you played Michigan State. Yeah. There's gonna be some bruises on you, because if you're trying to go in there and compete for rebounds, they're gonna put a body on you.
They might even throw 2 of them on you.
Yeah,
and you'll swear up and down there's 7 people on that court. I mean, I'm telling you, like, I even watch it and I'm like, I don't know how they. Oh, did you see the game that it wasn't a real game? It was a game called Florida Gators were playing it. They call it 5-man tag. And it's a very interesting game. I'm gonna put a twist to this and put it on my show. I'm just saying. But you got to hear this game, dude. So they'll take 5 people, and they can't dribble. All they can do is pass, and they have to take the other 5 that's on the opposite team, and they have to corner them and tag them with the basketball. But all the players can do on offense is pass. That's it. And man, when I tell you, I can see why Florida is ranked high. When their ball movement, it's just tag. I was like, do that again. They're fast, dude.
And dude, you mentioned Florida. They might be the best team in the nation. I know Georgia beat them, but from top to bottom, Florida might be the best team in the country.
I can't wait to see I can't wait to see. Obviously, I want to watch the SEC bracket. I mean, don't get me wrong. And that ACC bracket is great, dude. I was watching that a little bit today, and I was like, that's gonna be a good bracket. That's a good conference to watch.
The Big 12, man, with Houston in there.
Yeah, all of them are really fun to watch. But this is what I'm in particular wanting to notice right here. And it's mostly with the SEC, obviously, because I'm a little biased. I'm going to admit it. I want to see where Florida lands. Because on what you're saying with Florida might be the best in the nation, I have 2 teams that I was saying the same thing of, like, Florida is one of them, and Auburn So those are the two teams that I'm like, how is that gonna play out? What I would like to see is where Florida's gonna land, because they're looking at, they might get that, they're in between that 1 and 2 seed. And if they get that right 2 seed, be on the other side, it might be an Auburn Florida championship game. I'm kind of curious about that, because I want to see where Florida lands, because 2 reasons. One, I would like to see an Auburn Florida champion. Now, don't get me wrong. I'd like to see a Georgia in there somewhere. That would be nice. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I'll be rooting for Georgia. Don't get it all twisted. Everybody, Georgia is number 1. I'm telling you. Like, that's my team right there. I ain't going anywhere else.
In your heart, yes.
In my heart. They're number 1.
Say the same thing about Texas, but I know you're not.
You get your softball, so stay away. But in 2, so I like to see Florida play Auburn in that kind of arena. You know what I mean? But 2, how fast would that Florida team be after those many games? And can they run at that pace and that tempo that they run at back to back to back to back like that, like they would in that tournament? You know what I mean? Because Florida, they got 2 days off. Georgia and Oklahoma and Texas and all of them.
Yeah,
we're gonna have 2 games underneath us before we even see them. You know what I mean? So it's cheap. It's a cheap win. It's a cheap win for Florida and Tennessee and
Bama
Auburn
and Auburn.
Alabama. And, it's cheap wins, whatever. But I want to see it when they don't have that time off. They get the same time off as everybody else. They don't get 2 extra days waiting for these 2 games. You know what I mean? They get to play. I want to see if Florida can maintain that amount of aggressiveness, because when they were playing Georgia, Georgia had a 25-point lead on them at one point, and they ended up taking the lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they play at that tempo through an entire bracket where it is back-to-back competition at its highest level. You know what I mean? I'm curious about that Florida team, because I agree with you. They're definitely my top 2 best teams, and Auburn is the other one.
Yeah, because I look at it and I know, because Auburn won the conference regular season wise, when they played each other, Florida whooped them. Now that final score of 90-81 was not telling of the story for the game. Florida kind of controlled that second half, especially, and they maintained a double-digit lead in that second half until the end, and Auburn got a few baskets to make the score more respectable. But I look, with the SEC and as deep as it is, man, I wouldn't be surprised to see one of those middle teams, your 5 through 8, with Ole Miss or Kentucky or any one of those teams, Texas A&M. Wouldn't be surprised to see them win this tournament this year. Because with it being a one and done type of deal, these teams, they just seem to match up well. There's familiarity there, and there's no telling what could happen in any of these conferences. So if Ole Miss won the SEC, for an example, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Not after watching what transpired in this conference, when you got teams just beating each other up. Just look at that Florida-Tennessee dynamic. They played twice this year. Down in Gainesville, Florida won by 30.
Yep.
Up in Knoxville, Tennessee won by 20. And so it just kind of tells you, you just never know. And that's what's so exciting about getting into these conference tournaments and then into March Madness. It's that you have one game. What are you going to do with it? Can't take anything for granted. And it's going to be really fun. It seems like we say that every year when it comes to March Madness, but it's definitely going to be fun this year because there's so many good teams out here that are capable of making this run. So
Yeah, I mean, you look at the top 25, and I literally see 20 teams that can take it home. I mean, and that's crazy because not all of them are SEC.
yeah,
And I know we're talking a lot about the SEC, but
no,
man,
there's good teams that are
there's
out
some
there.
good teams out there. Memphis is good. Clemson is good. Duke. I mean, now I have my theories on Duke, and I'll just leave them at that.
Houston, St.
Houston
John's
looking good. St. John's looking good. Who else? Michigan State.
Yep.
Louisville.
Yep.
Iowa State. Maryland. I mean, these teams are good.
There's some good teams, man.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin too. What's going on, Aaron? It's nice
What's up, man?
On in.
But you know the way I'm kind of looking at it, man. Like I said, that if all of the Power 5 conferences, these brackets are going to be this good, as if the ACC is being this good, like if all of them are that good, we're in for a treat this year.
Yes. You know what? So let me see this. So Aaron points something out. Nick Martinelli. Sorry, Aaron. I hadn't watched too much Big Ten ball. But I do know Michigan State is the number one team in there right now. All right, let's see. I'm gonna look at this dude's stats real quick. Okay, so
He averaged over 20 a game.
Yeah. So I think what happened there, Aaron, seeing how he plays for Northwestern, they were probably hating just from that simple fact right there. And I know that is garbage to say, but it's Northwestern. You got teams like Michigan State, like Illinois, like Purdue, Wisconsin. They're gonna put most of those people on there before they put the Northwestern people. I think also Northwestern did not do that well in the standings either. But yeah, I can see a guy, because shoot, we got a guy. So speaking of that, Patrick, we got a guy in Texas. He was leading the conference in scoring. Trey Johnson. He was leading the conference in scoring for a little bit. I don't know if he's still leading the conference in scoring, but it was averaging close to 20 points a game. And so I guess they try to look at it. What they try to do, it seems like, is they put these. They try to put together the teams based on team performance and who that player was, or maybe one of the main players on that team that is doing well. And so normally these teams have like the top 4 or 5, that they have people from the top 4 or 5 teams in the conference. As normally how they go about it. So
yeah, but I get where Aaron's coming from. I mean, he's averaging 20 points a game, and he's averaging 7 points or 7 rebounds a game. How do you not let somebody that is literally the offense and defense of your team not be number one? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eric going off. He's like, man, ref screwed us. My man lost 2 front teeth. He's going I love it when Eric brings this energy, man. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Michigan, they got Holloman. I remember, or Michigan State, they got Holloman. He hit that buzzer beater to beat Maryland. Did you see that highlight when he hit that half-court buzzer beater to beat Maryland? Yeah. And then, Purdue, Braden Smith. I know he was probably on that team. He's one of the best guards in the nation for Purdue. And then I think his name is John Tanjay for Wisconsin. He was actually, so Tajay was actually at Missouri last year, and he transferred to Wisconsin and is I'd have to see the rest of the team, but I'm pretty sure he's an all Big Ten performer as well. He had a big season for them at Wisconsin. So look, we will be talking a lot of March Madness, especially when it's time to put these brackets together. Of course, the deal, we got to have them all in by Thursday at noon when those first games, well, the first main games, you'll have your first 4 games at this time next week. So we'll be
checking. What we should do?
Huh?
What we're going to do. I'm going to put it out there. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to say it. We're going to get our brackets done, and I'm going to send mine to Charles, and we're going to put them as a graphic on this show. There you go.
Yep. And so
that way everybody can see our bracket and they know we're not BSing.
So yep, we will. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. Yes. So be on the lookout for that. We will have these bad boys completed. I know a lot of people want to wait till that deadline coming up on Thursday at noon.
Nothing changes. Right, man, I need that extra 30 seconds to really think about this one game. I'll be telling people just put it in. Just put it in.
So we'll do that. We'll have these bad boys in by Tuesday evening, and we'll put them out there for them to be dissected. And
I just hope mine doesn't go the way it went last year.
Well, you at least had the tournament winner. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Well, when was it? 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when my Final Four, all 3 of them went out in like the first or second round. I was like, I just took I literally just take it like, I'm done. Anyway, I just watch and enjoy basketball now. Then, dude, remember that one year I was in like the top 500?
Dude, I almost won. You remember I told you that year?
I don't remember that.
Why not?
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Dude, I was top 2 or 3, dude. I was so upset. I lost that bad boy by 1 point.
Oh. Sounds to me like when I had $200,000 for Nick Chubb, all you had to do was score a freaking touchdown. He runs out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Yeah. Aaron, stop
hating on $199,990.
Aaron, stop hating on Purdue. Purdue actually made it to the Final Four last year. So you got to give them props.
Hey, Aaron, no, you do not. You rip them apart. Look, I have a problem with the Dukies. I'll have them going to the Final Four. They'll go out in the first round. I'll have them going out in the first round. Championship games. I'm like,
oh goodness. So we'll be into it next week for sure. So look out for our brackets to come on in. So they'll be out there for everybody to see. Can't wait for it. Actually, it'll be fun. So
how cool would it be though if we put it out there and we hit it?
Hey, that, you know what? If that happens, then yeah, it'll be.
And we are type of people. Look, I will tell you, we don't put in 15,000 brackets. I put in one. Yeah, I put in one that counts, and then I play with one with my kids. And my kids put in one. They're like, yeah, I want to go for Minnesota against Duke. And I'm like, no. And that's what I want to go with, Dad. But can we think about it a little more? Minnesota. So, no, I do one myself, but that's all I do. I put one in.
Hold on, what's Aaron's comment? So she said that's just like the people who be like, I'm in 7 seconds. That's true. I'm NASDAQ too. Come in. Gonna bring in the stock market.
Yeah. Exactly. Just like that.
That's true. What he said. I'm gonna go ahead and read the comment for everybody else to hear. He said, that's just like the people who be like I am in 7 fantasy football leagues, a fantasy basketball, and a fantasy stock market league. I can't wait for my waiver claim. I'm NASDAQ to come in. Yeah, that is true, because I was one of those people too, Patrick. I remember one year I did 5 fantasy football leagues, and never again will I do
You
that.
can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody keeps up with it. Everybody is like, Patrick, join our fantasy league. I was like, how much does it pay? Oh,
Yeah.
well, when I take $200 home, I was like, I do that on FanDuel in a day. I'm good. And you remember, dude, I used to be like relentless on fantasy on FanDuel, dude. I had like CSV files for days. That was one year I made like $18,000. I made like $18,000 in 1 year off of 4 different sports because all my freaking dude, I was like all the time on my computer. Hey Patrick, what are you doing? Oh, just putting in stats on my files, trying to figure out what my lines are going to be this week. Do you do anything else? I mean, at work.
Yeah.
I don't know, when something breaks, I guess.
That was me with fantasy.
I was relentless on that though for a good 2 years.
Yeah, that was me on fantasy football, sitting here trying to take a look at the waiver claims and trying to see if I can get this player on my team. And what I'm looking at all these forecasts, what they can do going forward.
You went out to trade. Why is my running back injured this week? But so then I trade him, and then he pops off for 450 rushing yards and 200 passing yards, 20 touchdowns in one game. And you're like, I couldn't do that all season.
Right.
You want to do it all in one? You're gonna pop off with season stats in one game after I trade you.
Well, Patrick, hey, speaking of football, we got the legal tampering period going on in the NFL. Look, why call it legal tampering? Can we just call it a free for all? Just
This is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I don't even know how that's like somebody's calling it the same difference. What? The same difference that doesn't even make sense.
Legal tampering.
So legal tampering, calling a big dude tiny.
Yeah.
I've never understood this legal tampering thing, but
So the deals, all the deals that you've heard announced over the last couple of days, they won't be official until tomorrow, because I guess that is the day where people can put pen to paper, sign the deals, all that good stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, legal tampering, give you a break. With all these deals that are coming through, hey, this dude signed 3 years here. This dude decided to sign a year there. This dude decided that he was going to re-sign with the Browns. Now, I talked a little bit on the Shorty this morning. Check that out if you haven't seen it already. But I did a Shorty on the Myles Garrett deals. And what I was talking about with that, yeah, I've seen those contracts too. So Aaron was talking about Javon Kinlaw. He signed with the Commanders for a year. It's like, or no, actually he signed for 3 years and $45 million or something like that. And they had a hold to put somebody next to Daron Payne because Jonathan Allen they let go, and he signed with Minnesota for 3 years. J.C. Horn, the corner for the Carolina Panthers, is getting a ridiculous deal. And now this one I would have to ask my nephew about because he's the Carolina Panthers fan. And I know J.C. Horn has been pretty good. Yep, yeah, exactly, Aaron. Yep, 3 for 45. And I think J.C. Horn has been in and out of the lineup from what I've seen with Carolina. He's been hurt. When he's in there, he's good, but man, the dude ain't available. And so you have and so you have these other deals. I'm wondering, my nephew texted me one day because Seattle, I don't know what the hell the Seahawks are doing. So the Seahawks decided,
between the Seahawks and the Eagles?
Yeah, well, the Eagles. So the Eagles are going to lose some people just simply because they were not able. Yeah.
So Charles, they're losing like half their team.
I know because you, Patrick, you know that Super Bowl bump. So these cats get the Super Bowl, they win a championship. Now they trying to get paid. And
well, I'd be bouncing to another team. How often do you win back-to-back Super Bowls? I got to go somewhere else because I know we ain't gonna win it here.
Yeah, hey, and see, and
They
that's what
want
I
to
was
get
talking
paid
about.
now.
Yeah, and see, and that's what I was talking about with Myles Garrett this morning. Garrett went to Radio Row and was talking about how he wants to trade out. I can't play with the Browns knowing I can't compete. I want to play for a contender. Hey, we'll give you $40 million annually for the next 4 years. I, yeah, yo, we're
Like,
yeah.
done. Why are you always drunk, Patrick? Don't matter. I'm playing.
And so, yeah. And so I was like, wait a minute, so you were over here talking about you wanted to play for a contender, you wanted to compete for championships, you wanted to play in meaningful games,
And now you just want to be paid?
yeah.
Dude, call it what it is, man. Look, I respect you. If you want to say, hey, look, dude, I just want to get paid. I don't care about winning no Super Bowl. Look, I'm the same way. I mean, look, if I'm on a team that wins a Super Bowl, or you know, when we were talking about the NBA, you know what I mean? And I told you, I'd be like, dude, I'd be the best high fiver and ass slapper you can fucking find, dude. I'm dead serious. I'd be like, why, Patrick, why are you doing this to the wall all the time? Best high fiver? How much you get paid? $1 million. That's the best $1 million high fiver you'll ever have, dude.
You're high-fiving the wall? That's your practice?
That's my practice, dude. Bam. Bam. And I'll get that rotation too. I'd have it down, man. Like high fives, ass slap. Done. Good. When are you ever gonna see court time? Don't care. Do you even dress out? Sometimes. Gotta be the first one out there on that court. Gotta look good in my uni.
You bring two uniforms. You bring the game uniform and the street clothes.
Yeah.
And Aaron said, Pat high fives like Jason Garrett claps.
If it pays $1 million, I'm open for suggestions. I don't care.
Jason Garrett. Oh, okay. All right, man. So when he was coaching the Cowboys, oh my gosh, that's all you see was just him just clapping. Just it's like everything's just going bad.
He'd always be
clapping. Yeah.
Like him and what was the dude that always chewed gum? Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll, yeah.
I swear that was like murder.
The gum was getting just trounced.
For 5 minutes, he had to have a new piece because he done chewed the crap out of it.
Prepare to see that some more this year because he's the coach of the Raiders. So
I ain't watching the Raiders.
Yeah, but look, so Seattle, I don't know what they are doing. So they traded Geno Smith to the aforementioned Raiders, and then they cut Tyler Lockett. They traded DK Metcalf to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's an interesting dynamic in Pittsburgh, by the way. I don't know what's going on there, but that's another place I'm wondering, what is Pittsburgh doing? And it looks good on the surface that you get DK Metcalf, but you pair him with George Pickens, who's another hot-headed receiver, and I guess you're going to run with Russell Wilson because
Sam Darnold being the quarterback in Seattle now.
Yeah, I was about to get to that too. Yeah, so
that was not the dumbest crap I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is Seattle doing? So you trade receivers away, and you get this quarterback in, Sam Darnold, who, I mean, he's all right, but the offensive line is not good. And Sam Darnold, I mean, look, I don't think he's going to have a better situation than what he had in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, no.
And now you're going to a situation, the coach there, Mike McDonald, he's a defensive guy. Remember, he was the defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens before he took the job as the head coach in Seattle. So I don't see that happening. Aaron, yes, I agree with you. Every night is going to be fight night in Pittsburgh. With Pickens and Metcalf, absolutely. And Russell Wilson being the quarterback there, if they don't decide that, because I've been hearing Aaron Rodgers whispers.
Rodgers is going to the Giants.
And what?
He's already bought a home. He's in New York. He's not going far. You go right down the road to the Giants. He ain't going. You're like, Jets got rid of me and go to the Giants.
If you're the Giants, why? Why?
Well, if you're the Giants, why not?
No, you don't want. You do not want that toxicity on the team, man.
Look, he might move the needle. Just saying.
What?
They won 2 games. They might win 3 with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh shoot! Awesome improvement. So then they still no, dude. You don't want that. No.
Yeah. No. He needs to retire, but he's going to the Giants.
What was Aaron?
You know what's sad? This is what's sad right here. This is what's sad right here. You ready?
Uh-huh.
They'll probably give him some stupid deal.
Yeah, you know they are. You know they are.
They you know under secrecy. Atlanta's like, what if we did? You know, I mean, we dumped Kirk Cousins. Why not pick up somebody else older? I'm like, dude, you got Penix. Let's run with that. Why don't we like? All right. So if they pick him up, I swear, dude, I'm not a Falcons fan ever again.
I don't think the Falcons are doing that. So 2 comments Aaron made after the fight night in Pittsburgh every Sunday. He said, there ain't no way Russell Wilson's high knees and Steelers country let's weld is going to calm down Metcalf and
no. Metcalf and Pickens will be fighting every Sunday.
Oh, I love it. Steelers country let's weld. Oh, I love that because of course, with Pittsburgh being known as the Steel City, that's Welder Central right there. And look, I've never been to Pittsburgh. I actually want to go to Pittsburgh. I'm close enough to where I'm like, hey, look, we're gonna take a little trip just to see how Pittsburgh is. You know, so I check it out. I hear good things about Pittsburgh, so I'll be willing to do a weekend there.
I'll go to Canada.
In Canada, I want to go to Canada too.
And as soon as they're 51st state, I'm going.
Yeah. Either Toronto or Montreal. I want to check that out.
What about Ottawa?
Yeah, shoot, Ottawa too. It's right there between Toronto and Montreal. So yeah, I'd like to check those out.
Dude, we'll throw some snowshoes on and make it a trip.
Okay, let's get it.
We'll just walk it. Ain't got time for no plane.
I'm actually in the process of getting my passport. So wait till I get my passport.
Well, think about it. If it becomes the 51st state, we won't need one.
I don't think it's becoming the 51st.
It ain't. But I'm just saying, like if it does, then we won't need one. We'll just go over there and.
So Aaron's next comment was Rodgers could go anywhere. We're talking about a guy who does Ashuhusha and takes darkness retreats. Dude, my who's the different movement.
Not many times in my left speechless, but that is like Aaron. That is the best comment ever, hands down. That was a good one.
What is the Achahusa? What is that? He did. Now I know he did the what was it the Pachuchara or whatever it was. Basically, he's cleaning out his body from both ends. I guess that's what it was.
That's what he's doing. Look, where he needs to go is home and just stay there. Like, clean your body out at home. Don't do crap anywhere else. Just stay at home. He really doesn't need to retire, though. Serious note, like he needs to retire. I'm tired of hearing about him on so many different levels, dude. Just like retire and go away.
He looks like a guy. This last season for the Jets, he just looked like a guy who lost his fastball. If we're going to use a baseball analogy, he looks like a guy who has lost his best pitch.
Why would you?
I'm just saying, Patrick. Look, that's the best I can do today. And so, That's the best I can do today. That's bad. Yeah.
Well, I guess it is what it is, right?
Yeah. And then the asshole clips. Cayenne pepper is what it was. We're not talking about. We moving on from Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers anymore.
Well, I'm surprised you let it go that long. If I said it, you would have done been moved on.
You know what?
You know, like Patrick, like, you know what? That's what we're breathing on today. We're only 15 minutes into the show.
The jalapeno asshole things. Aaron. Oh, goodness. You know that look, he lost his fastball. All right. I lost my train of thought with Aaron's comments. That is so funny that he said that. But yeah, he lost his he just doesn't have it anymore. And so now all those throws that he could make with regularity, the ones where it's just these precision passing right here in the middle of double coverage, and you're hitting the guy in stride no matter what. Those throws are way more fewer and farther between now. And if he's not getting protection, which he wasn't for the Jets, then it's not going to look that good.
It doesn't look that good even if he did get protection. I mean, when you say he lost it's far more than his fastball. I mean, he's just not a football player anymore. At a certain point, you got to know that, you know, you're done. And so, that was the last.
You're saying he lost his slider and everything else.
Well, I'm saying he lost his mind if he thinks he's still working.
That's what he was going to the darkness retreats for.
And it's not working. No matter how he blows out his ass, it's still not going to work. I mean, maybe that's the reason why. Maybe the reason why he's doing this whole ass cleansing thing, because he's full of shit. I mean, he can play. I mean, stop. I'm just gonna. You know what, Aaron? Thank you for saying all of that. Now I get to say what I want to say.
No, that's not how that works. No.
Yes, it is. It's how it works.
So look. So, oh my goodness, that I'm crying over here.
Think about it. Just give it a minute. Get back on track.
So another team that has been getting cleaned out.
No pun intended, right?
Yeah. There's definitely a pun intended.
That was okay.
But my team, the San Francisco 49ers, they have lost a lot of.
Shout out to Floyd.
Yeah. So you got, we lost the corner to Javarius Ward. He's with the Colts now. The safety, Yafanga, and Dre Greenlaw, the linebacker. They're both in Denver. Denver now, I like the moves they're making. We've been talking a lot about the moves that are very questionable, but Denver is quietly putting together a team that made the playoffs last year. Yes, they got blasted by the Bills in the first round, or in the wild card, but Denver is putting some things together. Bo Nix had a good rookie season, and they're stocking up on the defense. So look out for Denver. Things are looking a little bit more favorable in there. No, Aaron, I was not crying from the cayenne pepper in the air. I was crying from y'all comments.
Aaron Rodgers farted on camera and got Charles crying.
I was crying.
New York.
I was crying from the comments, and so because the comments have me rolling over here. But the 49ers, they are in this. This looks like they're hitting the reset button. And from a team that was I had 4 NFC Championship game appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, almost won the Super Bowl. Well, both of them times, just lost to the Chiefs. But now you're seeing a lot of these players getting released and going to other places. And yes, Aaron, you're right. Denver, yeah, if they can get another wide receiver next to Cortland Sutton, they might be ready to roll. Denver might be ready to make a real move because you got Kansas City in their division. So I mean, Kansas City's still the class of that division, but Denver can make a challenge to that. I think now more than ever because Kansas City's not quite as good as they have been, and some of their players are starting to get older as well. Let's see, you have other moves. I know, we talked about Sam Darnold going to Seattle. I don't get that move from either party. I don't. Look, Buffalo made sure Josh Allen is well taken care of for the next few years. Got like a 5-year, $300 million deal that he signed.
Hell no, Aaron. No. No. You make your comments. That's what the show is about, actually.
Yes.
That's actually what the show's about. It's about interacting with people and giving the platform for not only us to talk about what we're talking about, but to interact with y'all, and that's what it's about. So no. You keep commenting. You say everything you need to say and you want to say.
Absolutely, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, look,
we'll get our show in. You don't worry about that part.
I don't laugh. I don't laugh like that. Well, okay, Patrick may say some crazy stuff that would make me laugh too. But your comments were that's what got the Tear Factory going, was your comments.
Tear Factory?
Yes.
You are on weird stuff tonight.
The Crying Factory, yes. The Crying Factory. You got
talking about fastballs with Aaron Rodgers, and he don't play baseball.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to use that baseball analogy there. He lost his fastball. I'm sorry. No. Yep, we just picking them out. That's what we have today. That's the type of show. And speaking of baseball,
let's talk about it.
Yeah, so look, you weren't on the show last week, but I did bring up Major League Baseball. They are not going to be on ESPN anymore.
Yeah.
After this season, so that's like 35 years it had been on ESPN. ESPN had of course, the Sunday night baseball package and the wild card that they were showing as well. So what I said about it was, I think it tells a lot about the direction both the league and the network is going in. And I just wanted to see what you thought about it, since, baseball is that's your sport. That's your favorite sport. How do you feel about?
Be honest with you, dude. If you couldn't see it coming, then and a lot of people are not. I mean, dude, I saw this coming several years back because even back when you look back, what was it? Baseball Tonight, ending in 2017, 2016, something like that, whatever it went. You could start seeing the fall off of what baseball was to ESPN then, right? And was it Baseball Tonight?
Yeah, Baseball Tonight. You talking about their main covered show, their it's Baseball Tonight.
And that was every single night, and they did that for years. But when that show ended, I want to say it ended in 2017.
Before you go off, Patrick, are you ready for Cubs Dodgers at 5 a.m.
Hell no, I won't.
It's just a series, man. I mean, look, we could get up for a little bit, watch the Cubs and Dodgers over there in Japan. We can do that. We're gonna be up anyway. Look, we be on the grind like that. Well, God, it'll be 4 a.m. Eastern for you, but
yeah, and I ain't getting up for that.
All right, you might be asleep. Never mind.
5:30 max. 5:29 ain't happening. 5:30. That's when I get up. No, I will not be watching that game. Japan can. I'll catch it on Baseball Tonight.
All right.
but
Yeah,
but
look, I'm not the only one on some stuff tonight either.
But so if you didn't see it coming over the course of the few years that since 2017, this is no surprise. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm actually kind of surprised it lasted 8 more years. It probably should have died off 3 or 4 years ago. And I understand they had a contract through, it was like 2030, 2028.
Yeah, it ran through 2028, but I guess they said we're gonna just cut the next 3 years to it. So we're good for 2025, and then that's it.
Then they're done. But like I said, if you didn't see it coming in 2017, to me, this is not a surprise. Like I said, I'm surprised it actually lasted as long as it did. To my personal opinion, I think they should have probably cut it off probably 3 or 4 years earlier, and let MLB do something different. Because there's enough companies that want that MLB contract. And look, we get it, we understand. It's not football, which is becoming America's sport, and hell, it's starting to become worldwide now. You know what I mean? And it does not give any of the drama, and that's what it's called, drama, that the NBA gives. You know what I mean? It was just like, did you see the whole flop thing that LeBron James did when Tatum brushed his top of his neck and he felt like he got hit in the neck? Did you see that?
Well, you know LeBron flops.
I know, but man, dude, it's just like, does it get worse and worse and worse every single year?
So Patrick,
It drives me nuts.
Patrick, he's in Los Angeles. A lot of acting that goes on out there.
I know he's looking for a career after basketball. Because I mean, and I have never seen it. I never watched Space Jam 2, but everybody that had watched it, they were like, "Dude,
trashed it.
Trash." He was like, everybody I've talked to was like, "Don't waste your time. That is the most trashiest movie ever." And I was like, "Okay, I won't watch it." So I never watched it, you know. But back on baseball, if you didn't see it coming,
you're the one who's trying to get back on topic now. Sorry, my bad.
Sorry. You're not going to do it. I have to do it.
Okay.
So, the whole point of your job is to create the show.
I'm not going to do
it. Content and keep me on track, and you're not doing that.
Look, you said you want to. Look, I let the tangents go now. Look, I'm a little bit. I'm pretty lenient now, I guess.
Apparently.
Well, you know what? Look, Aaron said MLB Network's coverage is so superior. And look, I do like MLB Network's coverage of the game. And
I do too. MLB Network is much better. Let MLB Network have it. ESPN doesn't need it. The only time I really liked ESPN when they had baseball was with Scott Van Pelt. That was it. Past that, I didn't watch it. I mean, when Baseball Tonight was canceled.
It'll be interesting to see what MLB does because, like you said, maybe Fox picks up more. Maybe TBS, the Turner Sports people, which I guess is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery now. Maybe they pick up some more of the coverage since they are losing the NBA to NBC and Amazon. MLB also has a contract with Apple Plus or Apple TV as well, so they may be able to put some things more on there, and it's going to streaming anyway, so I can see them doing more.
And MLB has a lot of things already in progress, and they have a lot of options too. And being done with ESPN opens it up for even more. And I'll be honest with you, they'll probably make more money. To be honest with you.
And I said this last week too on the ESPN side. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with this too. ESPN's major things is the NFL, college football, and the NBA. And that is where the majority, like the huge money, goes to those to those three things. And so baseball, like you said, it was starting to become one of those things that they weren't going to shell out the money for the baseball coverage. As a matter of fact, they were trying to cut down the money they were shelling out.
Yep.
The baseball. So, Aaron just broke some news here. So the Bills just signed Joey Bosa apparently. So he will be there 1 year, 12.6 million. You saw this kind of developing with the Bills, particularly when they released Von Miller. So they were gonna make another play for another pass rusher, and of course, with them trying to get over that Kansas City Chiefs hump, they know they need another pass rusher to get out there, Patrick Mahomes, and I guess this is their guy. So you get Joey Bosa, and we'll see if he stays healthy, because that's been a problem for Joey Bosa over the years. With
probably the reason why he only got the 1 year.
Yep, exactly. Basically a prove-it deal here.
Yeah. Stay healthy for a whole year, we might give you more, but you know.
Well, any last thoughts before we hop on out of here, Patrick, with MLB? And you know we're gonna get pretty heavy with the MLB coverage, of course.
MLB and March Madness will be next week, and there's not really much that goes on in the NFL past this week. I mean, you can probably see a few trades here and there, but other than that, man, we'll probably be hitting college baseball really heavy. We got month and a half. Little League World Series is going to start kicking off. So
the Little League World Series doesn't start till the summer.
But the games for the progression to it start.
Oh yeah.
I watch them all. Like when it comes to Little League World Series, college baseball, I watch all of that.
Well, Patrick. So we're about to hop on out, but before we do, what's coming up for Pro Epic?
Oh, dude. Okay. So first and foremost, we have not been able to get our basketball show in. It has been raining crazy here in Florida for the past 4 weeks. So we're gonna get it in as soon as we possibly can. But I'm hoping to have it in the next, hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next couple of weeks. But we're supposed to be getting rain this weekend too. Then we are going to Coastal Elite Sports. It is a indoor batting cage, virtual golf, and pickleball place. We are going to go do a parents versus kids dodgeball game there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then our next 1v1 tournament, our next 1v1 tournament is we're calling it the dual sport bowling. And it's where we'll go to a baseball field. We'll put 10 baseball bats up, and you got to throw a football and kick a soccer ball or hit a volleyball or something. You get to pick a sport, but you only get 2 hits, and you get 2 frames to knock down as many bats as you can.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty.
Yes,
we're getting creative over here, bro. I'm just letting you know.
And if you haven't checked it out already, check out the reels and the shorts.
Oh, dude, did you see the one where one of the kids knocked the kid out by humping?
Yes, that was actually going to be what I was going to say. Please.
It was the football and hoop challenge. So
yeah,
we put one of the kids. He had a basketball in his hand. He put shoulder pads on and a helmet, and we put another kid in a 5-foot big old bubble ball. And he had to run through the bubble ball and score a goal. Dude, we were laughing so hard. Dude, it was so funny.
Check those out because those are hilarious. The shorts and the reels are out, and just go over to Patrick's to the Bro Epic channel, the official Bro Epic, and check those out. Yeah, they're very funny, very funny.
Yeah, that was a good one, and I think the next one's going to be pretty good. And then we got I'll tell that one later.
All right, well. Hey, with us, you know what's coming up for us over here at BOFA Sports as we take a look at March Madness. The baseball season's about to get started here, and then it will be leading up to the NFL draft next month as well. So, just be on the lookout for that and some of those other things that we were talking about, getting some interviews going, bringing back those games, bringing back the hashtag episode, amongst some of the other things. The STFU Club will be back as well. So be on the lookout. But other than that, everybody take care. That is what we are breathing on for this evening. Y'all make sure y'all visit the BOFA Sports YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, and follow the BOFA Sports Facebook page. Everybody take care. Aaron, thank you for coming on here and just bring it. Just bring
Keep
it.
them comments coming, dude.
Yes, do not stop. Do not continue to bring this same energy because, again, like Patrick pointed out, this show is about interacting with y'all, keeping the conversation going between us when it comes to these different topics.
Tell your friends.
What'd you say?
Tell your friends. Bring them on.
Yes. Tell your friends about the show. Tell them to get on here. Come on here for an evening. And the main thing is just laughing and having fun for us. That's what this whole thing is about. Just being able to make some sort of a positive difference in people's lives through talking about sports and some of the other things. So the more jokes that come, the better.
And understand that, you know, the reason why this show was made was really one of the things that Charles told me. He goes, these are conversations that me and him had on the phone. Now we're just putting it in front of a camera. Same thing. I mean, this is the type of conversations we had over the phone. So yeah, we love your comments. We love all the feedback. Drop them in there. Bring your friends. Tell everybody. This is what we wanted to do. So no, bring the comments. We love them.
Absolutely. So with that, everybody take care, and we will be back same time next week, Tuesday evening at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Everybody have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk soon.